Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So we got a quick video that I wanted to do because I'm prepping for that big trip to Iowa for spring gobbler season. So I just had a couple things I want to go over with you guys. There's some quick tips on pre-season to-dos for turkey hunting. Now, these are just a couple things you can do to help you in your hunt, and like I said, they're best to do pre-season. Do these prior to you even attempting to go out and go for that trophy bird of your choice. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and start her off with number one, practice your calls. Calling a turkey is probably one of the most important things you can do because you're calling that bird in and you need to sound as realistic as you possibly can. Now me, honestly, my best way to practice for especially my diaphragms, because that's what I use the most, is call. I keep one on my truck. I call on my way to work. I have an hour commute. I have an hour to mess around. So that's one thing that I do. That's one tactic I use, is just to practice in the little bit of off time that I get on my commute to and from work. And that helps me freshen up my skills and get ready for the season. So there's tip number one. Now tip number two. This is kind of going with the practice your calls. Get a variety of calls. Like you guys have seen my videos on turkey hunting or turkey calling tactics. Always have a variety because they always come in handy in different situations for hunting. So the main thing is, for a couple varieties of calls, getting a diaphragm, a slate, a friction call, pot call, whatever you want to call it, and get a box call. Those are probably your top three calls, and they really work. Diaphragms are amazing for close quarters when you're trying not to make as much movement. And yeah, that's about it. They all have, every call has their own tone, their own pitch, and they all have their own unique features. So it's up to you guys on which ones. I'm not going to tell you which ones to get, but I'm just saying have a variety of calls. Tip number three is shoot your gun. Go out and shoot your shotgun, pattern it. I'm going to have a video coming out soon because I got to pattern my shotguns here for Iowa. So this will help you guys get a little bit of a jump on me. Is definitely shoot your gun. Pattern it, check your limits, make sure to pattern it 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, maybe further depending on what kind of firearm you have. I know for me, I vary from a 12 gauge 3.5 inch to a 3 inch 12 gauge. So it all depends on what kind of load you're using and things like that to see how far out you're going to be able to shoot. Tip number four, you guys are going to go ahead and, even though in most hunting you layer up on camo, turkey hunting, put a layer of camo on, put a layer over that. You're going to need as much camo as humanly possible to keep yourself hidden, because turkeys along with deer have some of the best eyesight in the business, and you got to do whatever you can to trick them. I mean, for me, I wear a mesh camo shirt. I have a camo overcoat in case it's cold or rain shell. I have camo pants, camo boots. My turkey vest is camo. Camo head net, camo gloves, everything. Hell, camo boxers if you really want to go that far. But you want camo on top of camo to try and stay hidden from these birds. And that's another thing that'll help you, is the more hidden you are, the closer they'll get. Alright, now we're going off of the tools of the trade, your camo, your calls, your shotgun. Now we're going to go to step number five, or tip number five, is scout your property. Do whatever you can to get on the property prior to the season. Use locator calls like a woodpecker, or I use a woodpecker and a crow. It gets them to gobble every now and then, but I know pre-season turkey hunting, it's pretty cold, and when it's really cold, the turkeys honestly kind of shut up. So try and get out there, locate your birds, try and figure out where they're at, and that's pretty much it. Go in as much as you can, but do not go in like a couple days prior, because if there are a bird there, you could spook them off. So just try and time it out. If you're going to go hunting 2 weeks from now, only go up to maybe the weekend before, and then that way it gives the birds time to kind of forget that you were ever there, and then they'll hopefully stay in that area for scouting your property. and trying to find the birds is set aside some evenings to go out to your property or to the property that you're going to be on and try and locate some birds. Stay away from them, so try and use like binoculars and just kind of peek, look around through the woods for them. And what you're going to do in the evening hours of looking over your property is you're going to find their roosting locations. And when you find their roost, that's pretty much just where they hang out for the night, and then they usually leave from there in the morning. Turkeys usually don't move much overnight. If they do, maybe it's from one tree to the next tree. They're right next to each other, but they're not going to move a quarter mile away, a half mile away like a deer might. So set aside some evening hours and do some scouting then to find out the roosting areas. And then this here will follow right into tip number 7, which is going to be the last one for you guys, which is, along with checking out in the evenings, go in the morning before sunlight and double check on that roost area that you found the night before and see where your birds went. Do they stay up there for an extended period of time? Are they flying out and going to a field that's like a mile away? Just try and see where they're at. Usually turkey like to hide relatively close to a food source or an area where there's hens, if you're just hunting that like lone gobbler that's out there on his own. But usually they travel in groups, so usually when you find one gobbler you'll find another somewhere. And that's pretty much it. As long as you can do those 2 last steps when scouting your property, check in the evening for the roost area and then check back at that roost area the next morning to see where the birds are going after they come out of the tree. And that's about it for me, guys. Like I said, I'm going to have more videos on everything individually that I covered, because I have my trip to Iowa coming up here in a couple weeks, so I'll have all my gear out. I'll go over some little tools of the trade for you guys to have when you go out for your future hunt, and I'll go into patterning a shotgun. I have to pattern 2 of my shotguns. I have a 12 gauge and a 20 gauge. I'll be testing both of those out to see which one I can get better distance, because I'm not too familiar with hunting in Iowa, so I don't know if the turkeys tend to get very close or if they tend to be kind of skittish and stay away. And then I'll break it down into scouting, because we'll be scouting the weekend before we hunt out in Iowa, and I'll be bringing you guys with me. I have some long-range cameras, so I'll be able to keep an eye out on the turkeys, and we'll try and get some good pictures and things like that. So alright guys, I hope you like this video. I hope these tips can help you out bag your future bird. And as always, hit that subscribe button along with the little bell next to it so you get notifications on the next videos that come out, which will be more hunting and PA videos, as long as the weather holds up, because we did get a snowstorm yesterday. But as always guys, I really do hope you like this video. And another thing too is follow me on Instagram at V717Outlaw. And I'm going to be doing some Q&As to try and get information from you guys on what you want to see more in these videos. And if there's anything that you want to learn that maybe I can help you with, I'll be more than happy to try and help. I mean, I am still kind of new to some of this stuff with hunting, but I'm a rookie, I guess. But I know a lot of people with experience, and I can try and get as much information to you guys as I possibly can. So alright guys, I'll see you on the next video, and I'm just excited for Iowa. I can't wait, guys, and you'll be going with me. See you on the next